Kia ora, and welcome to this IT training video on inserting images. Now I'm sure most of you already know how to insert images, so I'll get that part out of the way quickly, and we'll move on to a few best practices around image sizes and positioning. So the easy way to insert your images is to basically click in your document where you'd like an image to go, and either go to the Insert tab and choose Pictures, or the Insert menu and choose Pictures. Either way, continue on to Picture from File to pick one up from your machine. Now, inside of this folder, I've got a few images of varying sizes, and I'm just going to redo this so you can see them better. The thing to know about image sizes is that JPEGs and PNGs tend to be pretty decent file sizes. GIFs can sometimes be too small, but this one, for example, looks fine. And TIFFs can often be far too big. Let's have a look at this tooth picture as a TIFF, which is 3.2 meg, versus as a JPEG. It's the same picture. I just basically opened it in Preview and did a save as and saved the copy as a JPEG. It is completely the same appearance to the naked eye. It just means that the file size is a lot smaller. So I'm going to recommend that you use JPEGs or PNGs when you're working with images. So I'm going to take a picture and insert it into my document. Now, if the picture is large enough, you could just leave it where it is, but if it's smaller, I'm just going to resize this, then in a thesis we do tend to center images. Now, this is pretty easy to do, but for a lot of people, they just don't know how to do it correctly. What I'm going to do is if I click on the image, I can see in the Picture Format tab that the wrap text is set to inline with text. That's what you should be using. That means this. If I go back to the Home tab and in my paragraph group I turn on my non-printing characters, your image sits inside of a paragraph. And if you format that paragraph to be centered, the image will automatically be centered as well. I'll just do the same thing with that koala over there. What you don't want to do is go into the picture formatting and turn off that text wrap setting and do it as something else. So instead of going in and putting in all these extra paragraph markers, the better plan is to stay inside of the Picture Format tab. Just don't change the inline with text setting at all, and instead make the change to the paragraph where the image is. Now, if you have a lot of images, let's say you've got 100 images in your thesis, you can also do things like, besides centering, you could change the spacing, and I don't want you to do that. You would do that perhaps inside of your paragraph settings, but I want you to think sideways here. I want you to do some lateral thinking and think about a style for your pictures. So for example, I'll just put that back to left aligned, and I'll put this guy back to left aligned, and I'm going to go into my Styles pane. One of the things I can do in here is just create a brand new style and give it a name of my own. I'm going to call this one Pictures. And then in here I'm going to set the alignment to centered. In fact, I can go into the Format button and into the paragraph settings and put in a whole bunch of space before and after perhaps. Maybe that's just something I want to do for my picture. So when I do that, click OK and OK again. Now, whenever I want to use that picture's style, notice it's up here in my gallery. I'll just click here inside of that paragraph, and then when I apply that, it automatically is centering those images and adding the space around it. That concludes this tutorial video on inserting images. Thanks for your attention. Kia ora.